I wanted to do a video talking about the Ferguson phenomenon or supposed phenomenon of white police officers killing or shooting unarmed black men. Let me start off by saying there's a lot of cool and amazing things about the African American community. One thing, if you're not an African American, the barbershop, it's kind of like the water cooler. There's a lot of intelligent and amazing conversations that go on in the African American barbershop. Most likely not so much in these younger barbershops, but usually in the older where you see barbers that are in their 50s, 60s, and even 50s, 60s, and 70s. There's a lot of intelligent conversations. Now, there was one particular barbershop that I believe I actually got my first haircut in. And almost still to this day, not recently, the past couple years, but I still go there. And the barber, he was named Jimmy. Now, as I said before, there's a lot of intelligent and amazing conversations in the African American barbershop. You can learn a lot from these older black sages. I believe maybe it was 10 years ago, or it might have been 10 years ago. But I remember a certain conversation I wasn't having, but the barber Jimmy, he was talking about, I believe it was in the Philadelphia area. And even 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, there was a case, I believe, about, I guess, a Philadelphia or officers that were charged with killing. It was so long ago, I don't remember exactly what the case was, but I believe it was the case. It was a stereotypical case, African American dead and police officers. I wasn't even sure. I don't even think that all the police officers were white. They might not have been white. They were charged with possibly being charged with the murder of killing an unarmed or supposed innocent African American victim. I think the person that was killed was actually innocent. Not like, anyway, I think he was actually innocent. And Jimmy, the barber, he was talking and he said something that I will never forget. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was saying that the chances are very slim that these police officers would actually do time or get punished. And he said, and here's the part that you need to remember or understand. The city or the police department, I believe he said the city has to protect the police officers. Even if the police officers have done something wrong, the city has to protect its officers. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't endorsing what happened. Not at all. I mean, I fully believe that he believed that these officers were in the wrong, but he was making a statement. In these types of cases, the city usually will side with the police. He said the city has to protect the police because if the police are wrong, if these police actually get charged and are actually found guilty of doing something illegal or killing, he said there would be total anarchy. And I believe him. I think to a certain degree that is actually true. There would be total anarchy. I'm in no way saying that it's okay or I'm endorsing. I'm just saying it just makes a lot of sense what he was saying. The police or the city will protect the police even if they do something wrong. What's my point? In these types of cases, don't look for justice. When there's a cop or a white police officer that may be getting charged with killing an innocent person, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if the police officers or officer gets off. There's a TV show called The Killing, had its final season in the summer of 2014 on Netflix. The Killing had 4 seasons. I believe it was canceled twice and it was brought back twice. It aired on AMC and it was canceled after its second season and but it was brought back to AMC on the third season for a final season, its third season. But Netflix brought it back because it was extremely popular stream. So Netflix ordered an extra 6 episodes for the fourth and final season of The Killing. Now, why am I talking about The Killing? I was actually a big fan of The Killing. Not so much the third season, but the first and second and fourth season were pretty decent. Why am I talking about The Killing? Well, I was watching the final episode. What the barber was talking about was echoed in this final episode. So I'm going to leave you guys with this episode, or clip from this final episode, and hopefully it should sound familiar.
I killed James Skinner. I shot him twice. Put him in the car and drove it into the lake. Holder had nothing to do with it.
I offered him a deal. With the baby coming, figured he'd be the weak link. I knew you wouldn't be. Not you, Sarah.
I'm waiving my rights. I don't want an attorney. Everything I've said is admissible in court. I'll sign anything you want. You can arrest me now.
Deputy Commissioner.
Stay seated, Detective Linden.
Sarah, it's been a while. How's your son? Jack, right? He's in high school now, from what I recall.
What is this?
John tells me there's a rumor going around about a Lieutenant Skinner. According to this rumor, he was the so-called Pied Piper serial murderer.
Yes, he killed those girls. It isn't a rumor, it's true. So I shot him. I killed him.
I think you've made a mistake, Detective. The coroner's official report. Lieutenant Skinner's cause of death was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. It was ruled a suicide. I'm sorry for your loss. You had a personal relationship with Lieutenant Skinner, from what I understand. Add that to the stress of this last case, and I can understand how his suicide must have been quite a blow.
He didn't kill himself, and you know it.
Imagine the public response if a cop, a high-ranking detective, was the killer of young children. The damage would be irreparable.
To whom? You?
Joe Mills killed those girls.
Joe Mills didn't kill those girls. Skinner confessed.
You have this on tape? What evidence do you have, Detective?
I will go to the press.
You have a history of mental illness, Sarah. Oh, it was nice seeing you.